So I got Yama Rec twice in the last week, 204.2, and the thing is about it, it's so beatable. Anyone can get it, and it'd be quite a cool record if you want to have your first. All you're going to need is to learn how to no-fly, and then our procedure, which I'll teach you in this video. No-fly, by the way, is so much easier than people have explained it. Any other video on it has explained it in the most convoluting way possible. For the method that I'm going to teach you, all you're going to need is visual metronome and the ability to reset it. I'll explain those plugins very, very shortly. For now, this is showing you how free the rec is. Look at how much we noodled our hits here. It could have been so much faster. A sub 2 is so free. And yes, I know this is a boss I hate. I've come to like it. I can't believe I'm saying it. But yeah, enjoy, boys, enjoy. Now as for plugins, there are 3 plugins. The first of which is ground markers, which I'm sure you've all used before. The second one is timer CA. In Yama, you want to show everything. This is just so you can get accurate splits. And the third one is visual metronome. This is the most important one, and you should be showing tick above player, and the number of colors is 7. Set everything else to how you want, so long as you see a 7 tick cycle above your head, that's all that matters. And then also you need a reset key. This will come important later. Anyway, onto setups. One of you is going to take a Maul, one of you is going to take a horn. This is the only thing that changes in the setups. Everything else remains the same. Optionally, you can take a scythe. I did not bother because emberlight is crazy. Anyway, these are setups. The moths, they're the same as the Guthix rest in that they don't count as hard food, so you can eat them as much as possible. They also heal your teammate. So if both of you are eating moths at the same time, you'll heal 16 HP per heal, losing no ticks, losing no stats. That's the reason why. This is a surge potion. Sorry, I've got it marked. I'm colorblind. I can barely see them. And then the 6-way, this is important. I'll explain very, very shortly. The Ring of Suffering you flick on whenever taking a glyph hit. This is just to deal an extra 10% damage. It actually can make the difference, as you'll see in some of these VODs. Everything else remains the same. The only thing that's going to change slightly is spec procedure. This is because Horn uses 25% spec and Hammer uses 50. Weirdly, there's an actual pre-pot procedure for this method. The reason why is because we need to be Mark of Darkness. And since the changes to Mark of Darkness, we actually need to pre-pot a Purging Staff. Because if you use it without, it'll only last a minute. If you use it with, it'll last 5 minutes, as you can see there. Then we're going to hit our heart second, followed by the Chugging Barrel. Leave Preserve on. And the reason for this is because we're going to be pre-potting a Menophyte Remedy with Divine Super Combat afterwards. It is very important to be in this order. This is because it will Menophyte your heart, but not your Super Combat, meaning you'll stay 118 stats here. You've also got a normal Divine here. And also it means your heart will slowly tick down, meaning that it will last slightly more than 5 minutes. So now let's talk thresholds. You see in the top left where it's got all the splits from the boss. Now I said earlier that the boss is on a 7 tick cycle. This is important because it means your P1 is either going to be 33 seconds or 38 seconds. On a 38, you kind of want red phase first. This is because the red glyph is stronger on P2. On 33 seconds, you can run either. You see that both our minions are 18 flat. This is the fastest you can get with this method. And then P2, you ideally want it to be 30 or 25. First off, let's explain the minion. So, as you see here, as it phases, I'm going to get hit by this flame vault and have to tick eat, which is why I end up on 8 HP. It doesn't matter what HP you are, you're still going to run at this minion. And we're going to do a 1-way, and it's going to be 1 tile closer than normal with the Purging Staff. 1-way the Sang, and this is the reason we bring the 6-way, because we do the melee hit into the 6-way, and we've made up for the lost damage from doing the 1-way. And the minion will phase here. As the minion turns to black, you want to reset your visual metronome. As you'll see here, phasing to black, reset. And that's how you do the first bit. Now, on to how no-fly works. If you're a party host, you want to be on the west side. If you're not the party host and you're joining, you'll be at the east side. This is because your diagonal skulls will go different ways. As you'll see here, this is the first example. I'm just going to let it play through and then play the example of the second one. There you go. Boss is dead for a tied rag. In order to teach the other side, I jumped into solos because it's the default side. The other side is for when you join someone else. So remembering to reset our metronome here as it fades to black. And then we're going to be stepping out on tick 7 and on tick 1. Anyway, this example is crazy because I literally only got vertical the whole way through. So the first set of skulls you see will dictate whether you go the vertical side or you go the horizontal side. So you see here, just do it our usual, stepping out on tick 7 and on tick 1. It is as simple as that, and you just follow the tiles on the floor. So vertical, you always go this way. The reason I don't have specific tick timings is because it doesn't matter too much. And then when flames come, you want to click out on tick 6, back to the start tile, and then in on tick 2 to skip all the flames. This works for every single set of flames and will not fail you. And yeah, as I said before, this is literally just showing you the vertical side. This is the easiest side of the two, way less to remember. It's literally just 3 clicks and 3 very simple dodges. Just staying on the boss, doing the usual. That's it. This is literally just how to do vertical side. I don't know how good RNG it is to just get it 4 times in a row. I guess just 4 coin tosses, but yeah. Hopefully that helps you learn east side. It is simple as anything. And now for a VOD that isn't just a simple vertical side. You should be able to learn vertical with ease. This one is a little bit harder. Remembering to do our metronome again, this is very, very important. Stepping out on tick 7. On the horizontal one though, we're going to step out a tick earlier. Tick 6 here, delay a tick, hit, back, and then go right. It's a little bit more difficult. And yeah, I did fail it a bunch when I was first learning, but it is very important to learn, again, because you get those 3 ticks from the Mark of Darkness, Emberlight, and yeah, we're just going to keep doing this. The flames work the same way. You just want to click in on tick 2. This will dodge them every single time. It's basically just knowing when to delay a tick and when to step back. So I think we get vertical here. No, we get another horizontal. So tick out on tick 6, in, out, in, and then side. You just got to remember to delay that tick. That's why the tile markers are how they are. They'll be left in the description below if you need them. And yeah, vertical, as I say, much, much easier. And yeah, good luck learning it. Obviously, if you're in solos normally, you should be killing the little arc spawns. I don't, because I wasn't even expecting to get the kill. I was just doing this just to get an example for YouTube. I don't enjoy solo content, but we got the kill. So now let's talk cutoffs in a duo. In the top left, you'll see my timer CA plugin going to work. Basically, the idea is if you get 38 second P1, you absolutely need a 30 or 25 P2, otherwise you cannot get wreck. If you get a 33 second, you can run a 35 second P2. The boss works in 7 tick cycles, so if you miss thresholds, it's pretty tough. Also, I believe once his health drops below his threshold, so 66.6, 33.3, whatever, all your damage is halved. So we were playing with the idea of challying as he phases, or Darok bombing as he phases, but we realised this wouldn't actually be worth it because of the half damage and the inaccuracy from it all. So that's why the Emberlight is just king. And as well as Burning Cause, because you get the extra damage on Demon Bane. And so spec process, I haven't actually gotten through that yet. Spec process for my role, as you can see, was hammer, double claw with a surge pot, and then we get 1 death charge and then voidwaker on P3. We do no specs on P2 at all, and the voidwaker is the only other spec we do. So we're going to flinch this first hit here. This is so that because melee can hit through prayer, whereas the other attack styles cannot hit through prayer. And then on the purple, we're going to run away. People don't actually know this. I didn't know until I already had wreck that running away from the purple attack means it does more damage. Because instead, you'll just take 20s and 30s. If you run away, you'll take 60s. As you can see there, it is worth losing the extra tick or 2 if you get frozen away from the boss. 2 tiles is far enough to run. And then, as you see here, we're going to avenge this massive big boy here, giving us a 35 second P2. But I also had to tick eat the flame wall. Just bear in mind that you can actually get hit by flame wall at the same time. And then, yeah, just doing the normal minion procedure. Getting our way into P3. As you can see from the top left, we've got a 33 into a 35. And then all we need now is a fast P3. And all of these, you're playing for a P3, which is why NoFly is so important, getting those extra ticks. Not doing NoFly will lose you about 3 seconds every time. So technically, you can get wrecked with donofly, but it is going to be very difficult. And as you can see here, we're doing the step out on 6, in, out, and then to the side on this one. Absolutely smashing it. Just not quite insane enough, but we tied the wreck once again. So this is the VOD from our original wreck. This one is the original 204.2, and is actually with completely different cutoffs to the first VOD, which makes it quite interesting. Because we have red glyph first, meaning that we'll take more damage in the P2 glyph, because the P1 glyphs and the P2 glyphs stay the same. But because we know it's a red glyph first, we know we're going to take massive venges, which means that we can run a 38 second P1, whereas in the other one, because it was purple first, we could only run 33 second P1s. And so because of this, it means our 38 second P1 is obviously a cycle slower, 7 ticks slower than the other one. But it does in fact mean that our P2 is going to be a lot faster because we're going to get a deep P1 here. And then the P2 we're going to start off with red. And we actually end up getting a 25 second P2, which is 10 seconds faster than our other VOD P2, putting us 5 seconds above the pace of the previous VOD. But as you'll be able to see soon, the P3 is all that matters. And it makes or breaks these times. It's very easy to get an entry into P3, very hard to convert the P3, which is why the NoFly is just so important. This is also before we realised the Ring of Suffering would make a difference, and also before we realised we could flinch the melee hits. This actually happened very early on into our runs. You'll see here, we'll take these massive venges, use the moths to heal up. These moths are just insane. Look at my health just shoot up from the both of us just spam eating them. So no tick loss at all or anything like that. Now you want to save the other venge just in case, but as you see here, we proc so early, and it is good pace into P2 minion, and hopefully into P3. As you see here, losing no ticks as per usual. We're going to get ready to reset our metronomes, which is obviously the biggest brick wall in all of these, is remembering to do that. We forgot many times. You see I'm resetting. Sometimes one of you will spawn a tick later, you've got to keep that in mind, then you're stepping out on tick 6 rather than tick 7. It's a little bit lost if that happens. You've got to have a lot of practice to do it properly. I actually mess up the first one here, taking one of the skull hits, is what it is, and then because the damage is so good, deciding to stay here, taking melee venges. This is before we realised that the 3 ticking was actually better than staying on boss. As you can see here, we would have probably saved a cycle or 2 just from our misplay. It would have been actually insane if we hit though. It was so much faster.
You got wreck?
Yeah, we had a 25 P2.
What time did you get?
2042.
2 what?
2042. It would have been so much better, bro. Like that literally could have been like 5 hits faster.
Oh my god.
We got scammed. That was nearly giga wreck.
Realize, like,
bro, we nearly got mega wreck.
that was legit our first attempt.
It's insane. You just did that.
Yeah, that was nearly mega wreck. Like genuinely insane. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Big shout out to Chris for teaching me this method and simplifying it a ton for me. I had a very short time period to learn all this because it is for the Speedrun Cup. I hope Hootie and Evie don't mind that I've made this video, but I didn't want to wait around, you know? I wanted to be the first one to have this video out. But yeah, as I say, if you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you want any help with plugin setup or anything, also have an ask. I'll help no matter what. Please like, subscribe, all of that stuff. It actually does help so much more than you can imagine. I'm trying to persuade my parents to let me pursue stuff. So, you know, please help support. I'm going to be doing Top Fest next week, a week-long stream. Come check it out. And yeah, this method was really fun to learn. As I say, I've had a very short time period to learn it. So I didn't learn it with all the side swings and stuff. If you want the in-depth guides, go check out Port's video or Kirby's video. Because as you can see here, there is some tick loss with some of the skulls, especially the ones where you have to step back early on the tick 6. So yeah, as I said before, check out their videos if you want the full in-depth stuff and want to learn it wholeheartedly. I did not bother because I just thought, you know, it's only going to be a minor bit better to use a scythe in some of these hits. But yeah, those are just for certain tick fills. That's where it gets in-depth and confusing. I just wanted to make a simple guide. I hope it helped. Much love. Have a good week. And just because I know some of you are going to ask, here's Pointwise's POVs from some of our runs. You'll notice that we both get the opposite skulls. This is, I'm assuming, intended. But when he gets horizontal, I get vertical. When I get vertical, he gets horizontal. That's just kind of how these work. And yeah, you'll see he's dimming on the same tick that I did. He didn't put the metronome above his head, but he had it on the side, as you can see there. The exact same thing that I taught you, just the other way. One of you, he's going to be the host, which is why he goes the normal way, and I wasn't the host, which is why I go the other way. And yeah, that's how you do it. If you need any help, again, please ask down below. I don't think I've left anything out. I hope not, at least. Good luck with the runs, and please beat my rec. I'll give a little reward if you do.